I used to think maybe there really were some secret societies out there passing around little black books, coded instructions, silent handshakes. Behind closed doors, you hear about secret formulas, hidden paths, inside information. Like there's something going on out there the rest of us never get to see, but let me save you a lifetime of chasing shadows. There are no secrets. There's structure. That's it. The real winners, the people you admire, the folks doing what you wish you could do, they're not magicians. They're not working from some hidden manual stashed in a vault. They're following systems. They've built something, day by day, layer by layer, action by action. The illusion of secrets is just that, an illusion. It's smoke and mirrors kept alive by people who'd rather believe success is luck or a twist of fate or something you have to be born with. Now, why do so many fall for the idea of secrets? It's comfortable. If there's some hidden answer, then you're off the hook for not having found it. Yet it lets you say, well, if only I knew what they know. I used to stand in rooms listening to stories about the rich, the powerful, the accomplished, thinking you wonder what their secret is. But eventually I learned the only thing they had that I didn't was a structure. They got up and did the work. They set priorities, made decisions, took the right actions and kept at it. Simple, but not always easy. Most people ignore the structure. They're looking for something more dramatic, something new and exciting. It's almost disappointing to find out how predictable winners really are. The pattern repeats itself over and over again. Morning routines, written goals, measuring progress, reviewing results. You'd think it would get boring. But the reality is, it works. Think of it like building a house. Nobody ever says, I wonder what secret formula the builder used for those walls. There's no secret, just a blueprint, a plan and the discipline to follow it. Success is the same way, but instead of a blueprint, you can touch. It's a set of habits, a schedule, a way of thinking and doing things day in, day out. If you build a structure that can hold up under pressure, you don't need secrets. The results will show up right on schedule. That's the hard truth. Some people don't want to hear, because if it's structure, then anyone can do it. And if anyone can do it, then what's stopping you? Sometimes we'd rather believe in secrets than accept that discipline, consistency and structure are available to every one of us. The world will sell you a shortcut if you're willing to buy, but real achievement is always paid for in advance. By the hours you put in, the habits you develop, the routines you keep. You see, winners aren't hiding anything. If anything, they're broadcasting their systems every day. Right out in the open. It's just that most people are so busy searching for secrets. They walk right past the structure. They're waiting for the magic moment, the silver bullet, while the winners are over there quietly following the blueprint brick by brick. So, if you're tired of chasing shadows, if you're ready to move from wishing to working, you start by throwing out the idea that someone's hiding something from you. The only thing that separates the successful from the unsuccessful is the willingness to put structure where there used to be wishful thinking. No secrets, just systems. If you can accept that, you're already halfway there, because from here on out, it's not about what you don't know. It's about what you're willing to do over and over again until the structure you build is strong enough to hold up your dreams. Now, this is what really keeps a person moving forward. Not just once, not just when the mood is right, but every single day. See, the ordinary man wakes up and checks his mood like checking the weather. Is it a sunny day? Is he feeling lucky? If the sun is shining, if he's inspired, maybe he'll get something done. If the clouds are out, if motivation's running low, he waits for a better day. That's a losing game. The winners have a different approach. They understand that mood is a poor master. The winds change. Some mornings you leap out of bed, others you drag your feet. But the winner doesn't leave things to chance. Winners rely on consistency, not luck. It's the blueprint, the daily structure that makes the difference. Have you noticed how momentum works? It's a fascinating thing. At first, it's heavy lifting. The beginning is all push, all effort. You set out to change your life, and the first week, the first month, it feels like you're climbing a mountain, but something remarkable happens when you show up every day. Even when it's hard, that effort starts to build momentum, and momentum is what carries you past the rough spots. But where does momentum come from? It's not magic, it's not personality, it's structure. The right routine, repeated long enough, takes the pressure off motivation. You don't have to wake up and wonder if you're in the mood for progress. You don't have to rely on inspiration or luck. Your structure says, this is what I do. And after a while, it becomes who you are. Now, some people say, well, routines are boring. Don't you get tired of doing the same things? Not if you're seeing results. Boredom is the price of progress. The real excitement isn't in changing things up every day. It's in watching your life change because you did what you said you would do again and again. That's the quiet thrill of consistency. I'll give you a little story. Years ago, I knew a young man who decided he was going to get fit.
He started running every morning first day. He barely made it to the end of the street second day, a little further third day, sore muscles. But he went out. Anyway, he didn't run because he felt like it, he ran because he said he would. And after a few weeks, the neighbors started to notice people began to wave their "Goes that runner," they'd say. He was building a new reputation one step at a time, but the key was structure. Rain or shine, tired or energized, he laced up his shoes and ran his route. That's the difference between winners and everyone else. Winners don't ask if today's the day. For effort, they follow their blueprint, knowing that structure builds momentum and momentum builds achievement. There are days when the feeling just isn't there, when the bed feels too warm, when the old excuses come calling. But if you got a routine, you can get moving even when you'd rather sit still. Some will tell you just go with the flow. But if you're always going with the flow, sooner or later you end up somewhere you never intended to be. It's your structure, your daily plan that keeps you on course. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. And let me say, consistency doesn't mean perfection. You're not a machine. You'll miss a day, make a mistake, take a step back. Now and then, that's life. But the winners don't throw out the blueprint because of a setback. They get right back to the routine. They understand that momentum isn't built in a day, but in 1,000 small choices stacked one on top of another. So, if you want to join the ranks of the achievers, the blueprint is simple. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Build a routine that makes progress automatic. Structure creates the conditions for momentum, and momentum carries you further than willpower ever could. That's the true blueprint of consistency. Now let's get into something that changed my whole outlook: predictable discipline. It's easy to think discipline is some rare quality reserved for the few. Maybe a man is born with it, or maybe he's just got stronger willpower than the rest. But I'll tell you, discipline doesn't have to be mysterious. It can be as predictable as the sunrise if you put the right structure in place. Think at a train running on tracks. The tracks don't ask the train if it feels like heading west today. They don't check the weather or take a poll on the train's mood. The tracks simply lead somewhere and the train follows. When you create a schedule that governs your actions, discipline stops being a wrestling match and starts being a routine. The question isn't, will I do it today? The answer is already on the calendar. So much pressure in life comes from uncertainty, that feeling of not knowing what's next, or worse, having to decide every hour what deserves your attention. If you're always negotiating with yourself,